Hello and welcome to Sparkle and Chill. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Today I'm going to unbox this little Peggy Collins kit called Poppy Fields. I have unboxed it before in a group of other ones, so I didn't really go through. I was doing, I think, 3 other kits or something at the time. It was like a big, it was in one of my Amazon hauls. So I thought I would unbox it real quick so you guys can see it just as a individual piece. And since my other diamond painting that I'm working on, my Peggy Collins paint along in my YouTube channel, Sparkle and Chill Diamond Paints, feel free to join there. That is where, again, like I said, I'm just doing a Peggy Collins paint along. And the one I'm doing is so big that I figure I need to have another small kit going anyways, because I usually do. I don't know, but so I'm going to have something that I can actually get done. I don't think the other one's going to get done this month. So I thought I would show this. I did already, like I said, I did already unbox this. So here is the treasure card. And then here is the color. I'm like I said, I've already unboxed it, so people have seen it. But if you're new to my channel, you haven't yet, unless you've gone and looked at other. And this has 1 AB and 3 fairy dusts. So I'm excited about this. Let's see what we got here. Oh, first thing we got here is the toolkit. And the toolkits on these smaller ones are the smaller toolkits. And I actually, or the smaller, what you call it here, tray. Get my brain working here. And it comes with a pat of the clear wax, one of the hearts, which, oh, I'm not, the pat of the clear wax, one of the little heart waxes, and a 7 placer for your pin. And then there's the pin actually has, and I love these trays, and then the pin has a 4 placer on it. And if you've never used one of these pins, they're real simple. You turn this to get the wax to start to come out. You can pinch off if you get too much coming out. And then to refill it, you unroll this or unwind it, sort of like any pin. And then this thing is like, whoa, oops. This is a little plunger. You don't really want to fill it more than that. So usually what I found with the ones that I've had, when I've had to refill them, when they've gotten that far, is I take just a little tiny strip of take just a little bit, not very much at all. I just pinch off a little, like a little corner of this, like really not much at all of this white wax, like just so tiny amount, and ball it up like in the size of like a pea, maybe even smaller than a pea, and then push it in there. And I find that ends up being enough. If you overfill it, it's kind of disastrous. It only happened to me once, but it was pretty funny, actually. I was glad I had other pins, but what happened was when you put too much in and then you try to, when this is, the pressure of turning it was so much that it just split it up the side. It split the plastic up the side. So you just really want to use a little tiny bit, push it up, and it's really enough, and it'll last a long time, long time. So that's how you work the pin. And then these just, this cover's just to keep it from drying out. This end is self-explanatory. This is your four place multi-placer right here. And then it also comes with your standard 15 baggies. And it'll tell you right on here. It says the contents of this is a twist and pick applicator with putty and multi-placer, 1X, traditional single placer, and heart-shaped wax, one heart-shaped stackable tray, and 15 reusable baggies. So they tell you right on there. This is 15. So people say it's 15. And it's not enough to kit up your kit. I like to use it for extra drills. So say I open up a package of drills and they don't all fit in the bottle I'm using, and I don't have enough bottles to use more than one bottle on that particular thing, I'll put them in there and label it with that particular thing in it, and that's really helpful. So I really like those. Or you can save them until you got enough to kit up certain ones. I don't typically kit up in baggies, but there's been times when I've used the baggies. If a kit comes completely kitted up in baggies, sometimes I will do it that way if they're a small kit. If they're a larger kit, not so much. This one would be one I'd be willing to do that way just because it's small. This is just a little, it is 10 by 9 inches or 25.9 centimeters by 22.8 centimeters. Again, it has 33 colors, including 1 Aurora Borealis and 3 fairy dust diamonds. A total of, get this, 7,802 diamonds. So it's tiny. This is a little one. This is a little, what they call a snack kit. Snack size kit. And I'm glad because I know I can finish this before the end of the month. And yeah, look at that. It's just cute, isn't it? It's just a little cute kit. I want to make sure you can see it. I've got to glare no matter what I do. It's just so cute. I love poppies. So this is going to be my second kit to work on, just so I can finish something in this month. That's Peggy Collins, because that other one I'm thinking it's going to take me 2 months easy. It may even go into the following month. I don't know. It's pretty big, and I haven't got a ton done yet. I've got the first row, and then I'm on the second full block on the second row, and it's already the 14th. So it's going to take me some time. It's squares, so it's a little bit more tedious. And I've had a little bit of trouble with it because of the spacing. It's been real tight, and that might just be me putting them too close together. But the drill field was calling for it, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to keep working at it. I'm a work in progress when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm not by any means the expert in diamond painting. I enjoy it, but I am learning right along with you. So yeah, this is Poppy Fields, and let's look at the colors, because I do have these out, and I am going to just get this kitted up. In fact, let's pause. I'm going to get a thing to do the kit up in, and I will be right back. Right, welcome back. I know that was just a second for you, but I found my case to use and put the stickers on, and let's just go for it. I thought we'll just go ahead and get it kitted up all at once, which is going to take, yeah, I'm just going to have to do it by, okay, I'm going to scoot this back, yikes, so that I have some space here to use this, and let's go. Oh gosh, those are gonna fall. Oh goodness. Let's see where we're at. I'm really good at dropping stuff everywhere. Let's go ahead and use this big one. Still has the heart wax in it. I'll go ahead and set that there. Let's use that bigger one instead of the little one that came with it, because it will just be a little easier. Okay, so now that I've made a mess of my desk, I am going to look for 740. It is right here. And I'm I'm so excited to get this going. You know what I didn't do? I'm really good at this. I'm knocking stuff down. I didn't get any dryer sheet ready, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick here. Ugh, this stuff smells. I'll put it in one of these little trays. And what I do with this, I just take the bounce sheet and I cut it into, oops, cut it into strips. They don't need to be that big. These are a little bigger than I usually do. Just enough to, you stick them into the bag and, or into the, you'll see in a second. I'm just going to go back through, and this has been a game changer when it comes to static, because for whatever reason, resin drills, when I did only Amazon kits, I never ever had issues with static, never. I didn't understand what people were talking about on when I was watching their channels, and they were talking about when they were talking about having issues with static. I was like, what are they talking about? And then I started doing the more expensive kits that come with the resin drills, which are by far better than the acrylics most of the time. But they do come with this added little challenge of static, because I'm not even actually sure why, but it just is. It's just a different animal. But this helps, and the problem I have is it's stinky. But that smell kind of wears off after time. And this is a new case, so it doesn't have them in all of the cases. I try to just keep them in there, you know. Once I've kitted up and used these, I just usually leave them in there unless I switch the bottles over to something, which I've done before too. I didn't feel like cutting up another one, so I just moved the bottles into the different case that hadn't been done. So what this does is it takes the static way down. So I'm just going to set this right here, because I can already see the static here. Oh, I need to grab, I do need these. Okay, so I wasn't thinking about kitting this up right now, but then I thought about it and I'm like, why would I not? And sometimes it helps to even stick one of these things in here when you can see that there's a lot of static in the bag itself. Just drop one in there and shake it up a little bit, and that will really save you the time of trying to get them out of the bag, because they've already got that there. And I did a little bit, but this is still gonna, what I think is funny is when they just kind of fly out of the bag. Oh, I did leave a piece of it in there. I had more than one piece. So it should, yeah, they should be acting a little better, but they're not. So sometimes you just got to push them out. This is going to be a fun kit. Bright colors, small, quick and easy. So it'll be something I can work on a little bit as I work on the other one. That way there's a finish by the end of the month. It is difficult to do a challenge, a month-long challenge, and know that you're not going to finish the kit you chose. And there's just nothing you can do about it. It's a big endeavor. These bigger kits are just a lot, and I'm new to doing these bigger kits. I'm used to 30 by 40s in the okay, 780. In the small kits, and those taking me a while. So that's okay. Everybody, I don't, So I don't join these contests or anything. So I've seen them. Contests that are like, you know, that there was a Christmas one that ran at Christmas time to jingle. I didn't join those things because I didn't want to. I did buy a kit to work on, but I didn't join any of those things because I don't want to rush through things. You know, I don't want to. Diamond painting for me is my time to chill, and if I'm on a timetable, that's why it's almost like do I do something that's a month-long, you know, deal, or do I not? Because I know I don't like to be rushed while I'm working on them. I want to be able to enjoy the process, and because it's new for me to do squares, I mean, I haven't done very many squares at all, just a couple of kits, and so doing a very large square kit is a bit intimidating, but I'm taking it on. Is it going to be done when I by the end of a month? No, it's not. It's most certainly not going to be done. Although I lost it. These are the small ones. So what one was that? It was this one. I'm real careful with drills when on these ones that just have a few. They say they give you 20% more, the Diamond Art Club does, but I don't believe that's true. I believe some of them they do, but these smaller ones, I've run out. In fact, I'm waiting on diamonds for the one that I'm working on now, because I ran out of a color that I still have a few sections of that color. And so I think they try to, but I think, you know, sometimes I've gotten done with a Diamond Art Club one, and I haven't done a ton of Diamond Art Club yet. I mean, I've ordered a lot of them. I've got a large collection, but I haven't actually worked on a ton of them yet. But I found that my Diamond Art Clubs have less leftovers than my Amazon kits. That's just been my experience with it. Oh shoot, did you see that? Of course you did. And these ones are really staticky. I should have put this in the freezer last night. I didn't even think about static, but I also wasn't thinking that I was going to unbox this right now and then kit it up. But I think it's small enough that I just, I'll let that sit for a few minutes while I clean these up. I spilled. I'm not going to worry about the ones in the tray, but the ones outside of the tray, I don't want to fall on the floor. That's what the tray's there for. When we're done, we can easily rub this against this bag and hopefully end this. There's so much static. Oh, and these are just flying. Get that into the bottle. Okay. Oh gosh. Get these to go in. Oh, they're so staticky. I'm going to get these in the bottles and let them sit for a couple days. Let this static dissipate. That's another thing. If you see, they fly. That one just stuck to my finger. So funny. I've had them like literally fly right out of the bottles. But once you get them in there with that, with this here, they tend to calm right down, especially when there's just a few in there. So good deal. Well, I might not do this whole thing because showing the whole thing, because it looks like this is going to take some time here. But I think what I'm going to do is pause you, and I'll come back when I get towards the end, and we'll go from there. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I am back. I got to tell y'all, this has been the most, I only saved 3 packets to do with you on the end here. This has been the most frustrating, staticky thing I have done in a long time. So they are just, and I think part of it is there was a lot of things where there was like 20 drills in it or whatever, you know, really small amount of drills. Makes for really hard when there's static. See all this static? It's just like, So what I've been doing is making sure, so this is $4.98. Let's find the bottle. I've been making sure that I put a swatch of this in here, and they literally were flying around. I can't even get these ones to go down. I don't know about you guys, but that does not make it fun, all this static. I have been real fortunate in not having this issue too frequently, but when I do have it, I tell you, what I'm going to try to do is just get this, I don't know if you can see me doing, I just slipped some of that bounce fabric thing in there, and that does some on, these have been so statically that it has helped, but it still hasn't. I got it, the last bottle I did had them sticking all over my finger when I was trying to, I mean, it's just unreal. Okay, so let's hope that, but these are heavier bags, so this shouldn't be as hard. The heavier bags seem to be a little easier, although when you get to the end of them, then you've got this problem again. Let me put this back in there. I'm gonna put a bigger piece in. Almost think I should. Okay, there we go. There's like 4 pieces in there now. And see, they're flying out. I spilled some crystals the other night. I was working on my little heart things the other night, and I dropped a whole bottle of crystals. I got a lot of them up, but realized this morning I still have a bunch of them down there. I got my Roomba out, and I had it do a run through, and there's still crystals down there, so they're hard to clean up. Okay. Now let's see if we can get any of these out. Problem is, it gets stuck in there. I moved everything from my tray, or from my desk, so I have my tweezers over here. Pull these things out when they fall in. But, so this is taken, believe it or not, for these 30 colors, it's been over an hour and a half. And I don't understand. And I worry about losing too many of them when they only have a few drills in each, you know, because while Diamond Art Club will send you some if you don't have enough, I'd rather have enough. And I really wish they would go to doing much more in their overages, because it just, not so much when you've got a lot of colors, a lot of drills, they tend to always have enough for the most part. But when they have these little tiny bits of them, that's when I worry, when there's like 40 drills in the bag, you know. Then it's so much more difficult, because you need every single one of those drills, and you need them to be pristine, and they're not always, you know. And so that's my one complaint with Diamond Art Club, is that they don't, that's my biggest complaint, I guess. And I don't really have a lot of complaints about it, but that's the one thing, if I had to critique, it would be, we need more of an overage so that we don't run in, because lately I've heard of a lot of people being short on drills, and I was short on drills for my last one, and I'm not done with it. I could end up with more that I'm not, because it's a stained glass, and there's a lot of them where they give you like a small amount of drills, and you get a little nervous when there's just a small amount, like you can't lose one, or, oh gosh, see, they're climbing the top here. You see that? They're like climbing the jar, escaping. Don't escape. One did. Okay, let's shake it, and then we'll try to get that one in there. Shake it up and get that fabric softener to, there we go. But it's been like this the whole time, and there was all those ones, I mean, that just had a few drills in it. Oh, there's still some here. So this has been my morning. Afternoon though, it's almost 3. Oh, it's actually 3:20. Oh, I guess maybe it's probably been more like 2 hours. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, and 8:17. But the good news is once we get it done, let it sit for a day to let them calm down a little bit. Then, yeah, this one's like that too. Okay, this one's, they're climbing the bag too. Okay. I honestly, put a thicker bunch in here and see if that works. Okay. Let's see if we can get it done. Get her done. Oh, shoot. Almost think. Maybe just dump them in this and then do the... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh. I shot at my shirt, but I don't, sometimes they just bounce and go down to the floor. This one had more color, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. And I am going to put the lid on to put these in. Here. All right, let's see. Any stuck in here? Hey, they all went through. And last but not least, our favorite color, 310. And these seem to be a little less staticky. I'm telling you, folks, this is this is a great kit. I just think it's. You have to be prepared with these little ones, at least in my area. It might just be because it got, the temperature here keeps fluctuating, you know. One day it's warm, the next day it's cold, and the cold front comes in, and I think that's what does it. I think it's the cold air or I don't know. I've not been able to completely figure out what makes, because some kits there's almost no static, and then other kits they're just like this, you know, and they take forever. It should have taken me 20 minutes to dump these into bottles, you know, half an hour at the most, and it's been a process. Oh, that one went in nice, because there was a lot of them. I tell you, when they got these little pouches with little tiny bit of diamonds in it, that's when they're the hardest. Hey, we did it. what was that? I think that was this color. Yeah. There were some that were stuck in the bottom of the thing. Okay, get these in. And see, they're flying. All right. Well, it should be much easier once we get going. So thanks for joining me on this little adventure here. There was another one. I think that's that one as well. They're just coming all over the place. I love the colors though. This has a very nice color palette. Look for at least one whip and chat out of this. We're going to get this done this month, and I don't think that the big one that I started is going to be done by the end of February. That's unrealistic. There's only half the month left, and I've only got a row and a quarter of a row done, and so it's just going to take me longer because it's squares and it's a big kit, but I'm okay with that as long as I'm enjoying the process and I'm not forcing myself to go too fast to where it becomes not fun and becomes pressure. Then we'll be fine with that and just go with it. My rule for diamond painting is don't make it stressful. You know, you don't want to make something that's supposed to be calming stressful. Diamond painting is a calming type of a hobby. It helps you to kind of relax. And so if you're rushing it or you're trying to get too much done, it'll become a chore and it won't be fun because you're trying to push and we just don't need to do that. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the things. Share it with your friends if they're diamond painters or if you're trying to explain to them what diamond painting is. I don't know if this is going to explain what diamond painting is, but if they'd like to see how you kit up, this is my favorite method of kitting up is these little cases. I've got, let's see, I've got several. I've got, because you generally need one for each kit. This still has some letters and stuff on it I only needed 33 for this one. This still has the letters and numbers from a different thing that I had kit up. I didn't bother taking those off. They were from an Amazon kit, so I may kit another Amazon kit up and it may need those same letters, so why mess with the stickers if I don't have to? But these are the best way. I love this method. The other, I have the little square boxes. I love those. And as well as the Diamond Art Club has one that's similar to the, I can't remember the name of them, but it's similar to another set that people really like. And so I've got a couple of those, and those really work well. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Talk to you soon. I have the wrong button. This is my heater button because I've got a little heater thing. I guess I'm just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way because I can't get my button to work. See you later. Bye now.